There we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. Just getting everything set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day's going well, week's going well. Hope everyone had a good week last week. Uh, got lots to talk about this week. All right, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you, episode 175. Thank you all so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. I am So, if you had missed it last week, I was in Chicago for a wedding and two Cubs and a White Sox game. That's why there was no episode last week. I did say I was going to try to do a vlog from the Chicago trip, which I do have footage, and I even did a bit from Fanatics Fest. However, the problem is that for some reason it's not transferring over to my computer editing software. So at the moment, I'm still working to turn into a vlog, but I do have a vlog planned. So I'm going to talk about definitely the experiences from the games. I did get this at the game, by the way. This is the Cubs Chicago Blues themed hat. I got the game. This says "Sweet Home Chicago," part of a song they play after they win a game. And this is the themed logo for the themed day. They happens to be they wore the jerseys the second game I went to. I did get a win out of one of the two games I was at for Cubs, which was nice. And I saw Skeens pitch in person, which, by the way, he is as nasty in person as he seems on TV, and it is crazy. Like, it is just crazy to see in person. The Skeens game they lost, but it was a fun time. Something that they've had for a few years at Wrigley that I didn't know about until this year is they have an area by home plate, the marquee area, or with the 2016 World Series championship trophy. And so for the first time, I took a picture with it when I was there from the first game I went to. This is the room they have it in. I did take a video of the room, so that will be in the vlog. Also, they have a Cubs Hall of Fame. I never checked it out before. It's also something recent. I went to check it out. It's actually nice, pretty nice setup. They have like plaques of players from the over the years. Also, plaque for Harry Carey, and then a few memorabilia from over the years. But I had a phenomenal time. I very much enjoyed both games. And then, of course, I made my first return to a White Sox game since I moved from Chicago, which was crazy to be um, back there for the first time in a while. Of course, the main pick I took from outside the ballpark, which oddly enough we ended up right outside this gate when we got there, is the statue representing the 2005 White Sox. See, I believe this is Joe. This one is Paul Konerko, and that one's Joe Creedy, if I'm not mistaken. And they have like moments on each side from the '05 season. Also, something cool they have inside the ballpark uh, that is definitely different from the last time I was there is they have on the walls on the concourse, at least the 100 level, I don't know about above the 100 level, of moments from the ballpark's history of the current one. Uh, so like Jim Thome's home run in the infamous blackout game 163 game against Twins. Um, where's another one? I didn't take a picture of all of them. I don't even know if I went by all of them, but I took a picture of some. Dwayne Wise's catch during Mark Burley's perfect game. I believe this is Paul Konerko's grand slam. It was just kind of cut off, so I kind of had to take a side picture angle of it. This is Carlos Lee, a 10th inning walk-off grand slam in 2001. I didn't know about this moment, so that was a cool one to see. From the 2005 White Sox championship parade. This is Jose Contreras throwing out first pitch of the '05 World Series. Mark Burley, perfect game. Another one from Mark Burley's perfect game. It also makes sense he had one, and they would have one of him throwing a pitch from the game also. The ALCS walk-off with a lot of controversy. Game 2, if you know, you know, and if you don't, well, look up 2005 ALCS game 2, and you can find it on the internet. The White Sox lost that game badly, like it was a blowout, but it was nice to go back there for the first time in a while. The craziest part is of the differences that I remember of the things that I remember from the Whites from Rate Field, obviously US Cellular Field back at the time when I used to go there. Nothing besides the scoreboard has changed. Like it literally felt like I was back there in from when I used to go there in early 2010s, late 2000s, and it was just like crazy. Like very little, nothing has changed. But it was nice to go back. Obviously, it would have been better for the White Sox, would, or at least it was a close game. But it is what it is. And then, of course, Sunday I went to Fanatics Fest for the first time, and I have to say my two-word description of Fanatics Fest is sports heaven. It is not cheap. It is definitely pricey, but it is worth every penny you would spend on this. Absolutely worth it for a sports fan. So I bought 2 photo opportunities and a ticket. First, the photo opportunity is with former NFL player, where basically, anytime you've seen running backs try to go after the rushing record yards wise out of season, and they always mention it. This is the guy that has the original record, Eric Dickerson. I was wearing Cub stuff because they had a thing of represent your team, so I kind of showed up in Cub stuff. And I've recently become a WWE fan, not to an extent that I would cover on the podcast. And so I ended up getting one with the current wrestler as well, Dominic Mysterio. So not necessarily a good name at the current moment. I don't know if he had like a cool, fun picture stand where you could like wear your favorite team's jersey and then create your own baseball card for it. I did that. If they had DH, I would have chosen that for my position, but instead I chose first base. So to be honest, I'd be a DH. John Starks was there as like a bonus free photo op, so I did get that. I was also right by where he was doing it at the time, because I was right by the WFAN booth. And then John Boy had a stand. And this was from their stand. The Warehouse Games is something they do on their own channel. I also took swings at Blitzball for the first time since the Aaron Boone event. And hold on a moment. And actually had some like decent success. Obviously it's off tee, so I don't really get pitched to me. It's more just swinging off the tee, but it was fun. But yeah, Fanatics Fest is an absolute sports heaven. And if you are a sports fan, as much as it's going to be costly, as much as it's going to be a good amount probably out of your pocket, it is worth it. I will tell you from having gone this year. And if I have the ability to, I will definitely be going back for next year. Probably different photo opportunities, but I would definitely have interest in going back next year if I have the ability to go back next year. But yeah, absolutely worth it. Not a question in my mind that was worth it. But yeah, again, so there will be a vlog between the Chicago trip and Fanatics Fest. I just have trouble trying to get it into my editing software and stuff. So I don't know when it will come out, but I'm definitely hoping to get the vlog out. I just got to get it to the software so that I can edit it, because there's like a specific part where I have to do extra editing of a blurring and stuff. You'll see it once the vlog comes out, hopefully. But yeah, I'm still working on trying to make it happen. I'm not giving up on it, but it's definitely in an annoying state, given it's giving me problems trying to put in the editing software to edit and throw in a video and then post it. It's just so I don't know when it will come out, but I am hoping to post it at some point. Also, I am going to be working this summer starting next week, so that's going to make things interesting with podcasts. I hope to still keep doing it, but I'm probably going to have to do the podcast later on Tuesdays or figure out a different day to do it. We'll have to see. And then, is there anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So let's dive into this week's episode of the podcast. And of course, if you have any questions or comments or anything, please feel free to mention either live chat if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this afterwards in the comment section below. Also, by the way, just came to mind, last Sunday, obviously the Rafael Devers trade happened, and I posted it in a suit because I was at. It was right after I was coming. I posted like right after I left the wedding I was at. So if you want to check out my immediate reaction to the Rafi Devers trade, is in the YouTube Shorts on the channel, and it's also on my TikTok. Either or, go check it out. Link is in description of my TikTok via Linktree, and then YouTube Shorts. You can just click on the channel and you'll get to my YouTube Shorts part of the page. But if you want, I'll discuss it also here longer, like kind of chat about it. But it's also pretty longer form of short. Anyways, let's into this. So today's Immaculate Grid: Astros, Dodgers, and 40+ career WAR. A's, White Sox, and played catcher minimum of 1 game. Okay, you know what we did? I was just at White Sox recently, so I'm gonna do White Sox ones first. White Sox and Astros. I know Carlos Lee fits here. You know, I've got an even better answer. Jeff Blum, 4%. I was expecting it to be pretty much lower, but I will take that. White Sox, Dodgers, I could go Yasmani Grandal. I could go Paul Konerko. I could go. Who else can I go here? I could go Michael Kopech. Ooh. I could go Kenny Lofton underratedly. I imagine that's not going to be a popular answer because not a lot of people know him for either White Sox or Dodgers. 1%, I would take that, but then again, he probably would work well for 40+ career WAR also for the White Sox. I'm curious if he. I just lost my train. All right. Any chance you would have? No, not even close. What about you? Nope. uh, I doubt this. 40+ career WAR with the White Sox. No, there's no way. Oh, wow. Actually, yeah. You know what? I mentioned him earlier today, so why not? It'd probably be a higher answer, but 4%, honestly, I'm surprised it's not higher than that, so I'll take that. A's and Astros, I could go Jeff Kent. I could go Josh Reddick. Oh, actually, A's Dodgers Josh Reddick would probably be a very good answer, underratedly. It's not a lot of people know him for Dodgers time. 2%, I will take that. A's and Astros, I could go Tony Kemp. I could go Abraham Toro. I could go Kendall Graveman. I'm trying to think who else I can go that's A's and Astros. Am I crazy or didn't he play for Houston? Yeah. I'm gonna go Miguel Tejada. 11%. I'm surprised it's that high, but okay. No, I could have also used him for 40+ career WAR. I imagine Jimmy Fox would probably fit this, right? Yeah, 5%. Okay. Astros played catch for a minimum of 1 game. I could go Craig Biggio. I could go Brett Osmus. 8%. Okay. Dodgers played catcher minimum of 1 game. I could go Russell Martin. I could go Yasmani Grandal, Austin Barnes. Who else could I go? I could go Paul Duco. Because I randomly had a mention of him in a YouTube video I was watching. 5%, will take that. And then 40+ more catcher. Imagine Biggio actually probably would fit this. He does 4%. So total rarity score is 43. I did not have any of the top answers. Oddly enough, and it's a good thing I didn't use Biggio for Astros because he was top answer for Astros. Played catcher move 1 game. So top answers: A's Astros 19% is Josh Reddick. A's Dodgers 20% is Ricky Henderson. I forget he played for the Dodgers. A's 40 plus career WAR at 18% is Ricky Henderson. White Sox Astros 38% is Jose Abreu. That makes sense. White Sox Dodgers 9% is Michael Kopech. That is interesting. It's not low, but it makes sense. At White Sox 40 plus career WAR, 42% is Frank Thomas. That makes sense. Astros played catcher minimum one game at 18% is Craig Biggio. Dodgers played catcher minimum one game, 17% is Will Smith, and played catcher minimum one game with 40 plus career WAR is Johnny Bench at 21%. So that's it for Immaculate Grid. So now we're going to do daily walk-off for Astros and Dodgers. So the categories are 1990s top 5 in wins, 2000s top 5 and 10 in wins, 2010s top 15 in wins, in 2020, top 20 in wins. Robbie Ray, Doug Davis, Alex Young, Randy Johnson, Andy Bennis, Zach Allen, Kurt Schilling, Brandon Webb, Joe Saunders, Brian Anderson, Josh Colementor, and JP Wendelken. Davis, Bennis, and Anderson, I'm going to say fit 90s. Johnson, Schilling, and Webb 2000s. 2010s, I'm going to say Alex Young, Josh Coleman. Yeah, I'm going to submit this. And actually, almost fully correct. Just flip around a bit. And now fully correct. So, full correct answers for the Diamondbacks. For 1990s, top 5 wins, Brian Anderson, Randy Johnson, Andy Bennis. For 2000s, top 10 wins, Brandon Webb, Kurt Schilling, Doug Davis. 2010s, top 15 in wins, Robbie Ray, Josh Colementor, Joe Saunders. And top 20 into 2020s wins through 2023, Zach Allen, Alex Young, and JP Wendelken. That is for the Diamondbacks. And then for the Dodgers, it's going to be the same categories, just different players. Ramon Martinez, Lance Lynn, Pedro Baez, Pedro Stachio, I don't know how to pronounce it. Chad Billingsley, Giovanni Carrera, Ronald Belisario, Clayton Kershaw, Kevin Brown, David Price, Chandler Park, and Tyler Anderson. Brown, Park, and Carrera, I'm going to say, are 90s. Stachio, Billingsley, and Martinez is going to be in there. Just flip Martinez and Chandler Park. And then honestly, let's spin this and see where this goes. Oh, almost fully correct. Just flip Pistachio and Brown, Park, and Carrera. And now fully correct. So full correct answers for the Dodgers. 1990s top 5 in wins. Pedro Stachio, Ramon Martinez, Chandler Park. 2000s top 10 in wins. Kevin Brown, Chad Billingsley, Giovanni Carrera. 2010's top 15 in wins, Ronald Belisario, Clayton Kershaw, Pedro Baez. 2020's top 20 in wins, David Price, Lance Lynn, and Tyler Anderson. And that's it for Daily Walk-Off for today. So now we can get into MLB Weekly Recap, which there are some games going on, by the way, at the moment. Just want to check something. Oh, great. Oh, Lord. How did it get worse? Oh, great. Okay. Oh, that's a good game. Okay. All right. So weekly recap, which is also will include the games I went to, just because I feel like it'd only be right that I go over the games I went to. First one, Cubs beat the Pirates on June 12th, 3-2. Pico Armstrong's two-run homer in the fourth that was 390 feet above the ground, and along with the homer this season, 0.86 feet above the ground. He is the first player with a homer on pitches both 3.90 plus feet less and less than 90.90 feet off the ground in a season since 2015. Basically, the start of the StatCast era. Which that pitch was like really was above the strike zone. I'm gonna pull this up because it was like crazy. I still wonder how he hit that ball out. Let me find this. I'm gonna share it. And I like saw it because I was like right behind home plate, and it was just like legitimately and like boom. And what's crazy is right before they had a great defense play in in the outfield area behind the infield, but yeah, just still led to bad luck as Cubs PCA hit a homer right after. Let me find this pitch. There we go. Share. Yeah, this pitch right here, literally way above the strike zone, and he hit it out for a home run. Crazy how far these pitches can be out of the strike zone they hit for home runs. Say a homer was not as crazy up above. But the craziest turning point of the game was the Pirates had bases loaded, 2 outs, down 3-2 in the 7th inning with O'Neal Cruz at the plate, who's pretty much, I would say, their best hitter in their lineup. Bases loaded, 2 outs, down by 1, where you just get a hit and you can even get the lead, and he struck out on a pitch down the middle. And I'm gonna even show this pitch. I was just stunned that he missed this pitch. And it's not like he was facing Steens or Jamo or Shoto or like some guy who throws fast. He was facing Brad Keller, who's been in the league for a long time. You know what? To make my point, let's see how old he is. Okay, actually not as old as I thought. He's only 29. That is crazy. He's only 29. He's played how long in majors? 3, 6, 8 seasons. And he's only 29. I thought he would be much older than that, but I guess never mind. I spoke too soon. I'll take that L on the chest. But I mean, still, he's not a fast thrower. And the fun fact is, they ended up throwing him on Friday also, and he gave up the go-ahead run in the 8th. Cubs ended up tying, but they gave up the go, but lost in extras. I have to just show this pitch that it is as meatball as it gets. I mean, he also took a pitch that was down in meatballs while I'm looking at this at bat, but this is just crazy. Like this right here, pitch number 6 is what he struck out on. And it's literally as middle as you get, and he swung and missed the end of the inning. And as you see, bases loaded, 2 outs, down by 1. And the pitch was 87 miles per hour. And he missed it. Okay, his fastball being 97 is a bit crazy thing. I thought he was old, but still, like, how? How? O'Neal, again, this is O'Neal Cruz, not some random schmo, not Brian Hayes, not Adam Frazier. O'Neal Cruz. Okay, not a great batting average happens to be below. One of, if not their best hitter. And he struck out on that pitch. Explain that to me. It shows how not easy this game of baseball is. Just crazy. Just give me a moment. I X out of tab. I was supposed to X out. Okay. We're back. But yeah, Cubs won that game, and then on Friday, the Pirates won 2-1 in 10 innings. Polsky's 1.78 ERA in the first 15 starts of the season. At 23 years old, is the 6th lowest ERA in the first 15 starts of the season. 23 years old or younger since 1969, behind 1973 Steve Rogers 1.32, 1971 Vita Blues 1.34, 1991 Scott Erickson's 1.39, 1985 Doc Gooden's 1.66, and 2005 Trell Willis's 1.76. That is it for the Cubs games in the random days where it was just the Cubs games. And from Tuesday, which oddly enough does include the White Sox game I was at, but there's not really much of note from that game. The only note really I have is that Cardinals had the 5-run second that pretty much won them that game. They took the game from there on. It was like a complete blowout. The White Sox, oddly enough, struck first, but bad defense and bad pitching pretty much just led to the downfall of the game for them. But other than that, Rockies beat the Nationals 10-6. Thairo Strada's game-time home run in the second. Michael Tolia's 2-run homer in the fourth. Hunter Goodman's 3-run homer Ryan McMahon solo home run, Michael Tolia's solo home run, and Sam Hilliard's solo home run in the 7th, and Mikey Moniak's solo home run in the 8th. Marks tied for most homers in a game in Rockies history, tied with May 31st, 2016 against the Reds, where Charlie Blackmon had a solo home run, Nolan Arenado 2-run homer in the 1st, DJ LeMahieu solo home run, Carlos Gonzalez solo home run in the 2nd, Gerardo Parra solo home run in the 3rd, Nolan Arenado's 2-run homer in the 6th, and Charlie Blackmon's grand slam homer in the 7th. And April 5th, 1997, against Montreal Expos / now Washington Nationals, Dante Bichette's 2-run home run in the 2nd, Larry Walker solo home run in the home run, Andres Galarraga solo home run, Ellis Burks 2-run homer, and Larry Walker solo home run in the 7th. Both road games which were the 97 and this year against the same franchise, aka the Nationals / Montreal Expos. And then the Dodgers beat the Padres 8-6. Will Smith's 2-run home run in the 6th on the 12th pitch of the at-bat is tied for the 3rd most pitches in at-bat, ending in a home run in Dodgers history since 1988. Behind May 12th, 2004, Alex Cora's 18, and August 11th, 2021, Cody Bellinger's 13, and tied with May 29th, 2022, Will himself, and May 21st, 1998, Jose Gonzalez. Also marks the 2nd time he hit a homer in the 12th pitch at bat, which tied for second for most since 2000 with Jesus Aguilar, Dan Aguilar, Paul Goldschmidt, Todd Helton, and Jose Ramirez. That's it for June 17th. For June 18th, Red Sox beat the Mariners 3-1. Garrett Crochet's 1 run allowed and 6 strikeouts joins Pedro Martinez in 99 and 2000 is the only Red Sox pitchers with at least 125 strikeouts and less than 30 runs allowed in their first 16 starts of the season. Rays beat the Orioles 12-8. Rays came back from down 8-0 from the 2nd inning on all 8 in the 2nd inning for Baltimore to win, which is tied for the largest comeback win in Rays history, tied with August 18th, 2012, coming back from down 8-0 from 3rd inning and on at the Angels, and July 25th, 2009, where they came back from down 8-0 and 9-1 from 4th and on at the Toronto Blue Jays. Dodgers beat the Padres 4-3. Will Smith pinch hit walk-off solo home run in the 9th is his 3rd pinch hit walk-off homer, breaking a tie with Rick Monday for most in Dodgers history. He's also tied for 2nd most career pinch hit walk-off homers in MLB history, behind Jason Giambi's 6th, and tied with Charlie Culberson, Larry Sheets, Cameron Sheets' dad, Gates Brown, and if including postseason, Kirk Gibson can be added to that list. That's it for May 18th. For May 19th. Twins beat the Guardians 12-5. Byron Buxton solo home run in the 1st and solo homers in the 1st and 2nd. Makes it the 3rd time he's hit 2 homers in the first 2 innings of a game, the most in Washington Senators / Minnesota Twins history. Nationals beat the Rockies 4-3 in 11 and 22 years and 275 days old. James Wood's walk-off 2-run homer in the 11th, along with his 2-run homer in the 4th, is the youngest player in Nationals / Expos history with a multi-homer game, including a walk-off homer. Brewers beat the Cubs 8-7. Pete Crow Armstrong's go-ahead 2-run homer in the 1st is his 20th homer this season, making him achieved 2020 season in 73 games, which is tied for 4th fewest games to achieve a 2020 season in MLB history. 1987, Eric Davis with the Reds 46, 1998, Jose Canseco with the Blue Jays 68, and 2021, Fernando Tatis Jr. with the Padres 71, and tied with 1922, Ken Williams and St. Louis Browns / Baltimore Orioles. Oh, wow. Hold on one moment. For the basketball news, breaking news, Kyrie Irving just got extended a few years. So he's staying with Dallas. Royals beat the Rangers 4-1. Jack Caglianone solo home run in the 2nd was 4.22 feet above the ground, which is the highest pitch a Royals player has homered off of. A player's hit his first career highest was 3.87 feet by Travis Blankenhorn. He hit solo home run in the 9th as well. He is the 4th player to hit in Royals history to hit the first 2 career home runs in the same game, joining September 14th, 1999, Mark Quinn, and September 21st, 1979, UL Washington, and July 7th, 1969, Jim Rooker. Giants beat the Guardians 2-1. Logan Webb 7 innings pitch marks his 39th career start of 7+ innings pitched since the start of 2023, 4 more than anyone else in MLB. Not spam. Sorry about that. Astros lost the A's 6-4 in 10 innings. Jacob Wilson's 2-hit game is his 32nd this season in 77 games, which is the fifth most for rookies since 1961, behind 2001 Ichiro Suzuki's 38, 1964 Tony Oliva's 36, 1984 Juan Samuel's 34, and 1962 Manny Jimenez 33. Nick Kurtz, if you're wondering what the pause is for, is, well, you can figure it out once you say his name. Not most appropriate, basically, but you figure it out. Walkoff 2-homer in the 10th makes him the second player in the last 50 seasons with 2 walk-off homers in a calendar month at 22 years or younger, joining August 1978, Eddie Murray with the Orioles. Also 22 years, 99 days old. He is the youngest player in MLB history with 2 walk-off homers in a single series, and the 5th player in MLB history with 2 walk-off homers in the calendar month, 22 years or younger, joining Eddie Murray, mentioned above. June 1961, Tommy Davis with the Dodgers. July 1958, Frank Robinson with the Reds. And June 1889, Jake Beckley with Pittsburgh Allegheny/Pittsburgh Pirates. He's also the first player in A's history with 2 walk-off homers in a single series. And then Pirates beat the Tigers 8-4 in 10 innings in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Goalkeeper 2 homer in the 7th was 4.22 feet above the ground, which is tied for the second highest pitch anyone's homered off of this year, and the highest pitch a Tigers player has homered off of since 2008. That is it for June 19th. For June 20th, Cubs lost the Mariners 9-4. Cal Raleigh's 2-homer game marks his 29th homer before All-Star break in 73 games, which is the most homers in the least amount of games before All-Star break by a primary catcher, jumping 1970 Johnny Benches with the Reds 28 and 87 games, and 2000 Pud Rodriguez with the Rangers 26 and 80 games. Also, he is the 6th multi-homer game this season, which is tied for second most in the span in a season for playing catcher in a season, behind 2003 Javi Lopez and tied with 1995 Mike Piazza, and also tied for third most multi-homer games in a season in Mariners history, behind 1996 to 98 Ken Griffey Jr.'s 8 in 97 and 7 in 98 and 96, and tied with 1999 A-Rod. Also is the third most in his season in MLB history, behind 1969 Reggie Jackson's 8, and 2022 Aaron Judge, 2009 Albert Pujols, and 2001 Luis Gonzalez's 7. Brewers beat the Twins 17-6. Jacob Mizorowski's 11 no-hit innings pitch is the second most started career since 1961, behind 2023 Austin Cox 11 2/3 innings pitch, and longest as a starting pitcher. Christian Yelich's 8 RBIs is most by a player in a game without a homer since 1920. Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 14-8. Eugenio Suarez 2-homer game makes him the 5th player since 2005 to hit his 299th and 300th career homer in the same game, joining June 27th, 2023 JD Martinez, July 22nd, 2012 Miguel Cabrera, September 4th, 2011 Carlos Beltran, and July 31st, 2005 Jason Giambi. The Astros beat the Angels 3-2 in 10 innings with a solo homer in the 4th. Joe Adell has homered in 3 straight games and slugging .724 with 9 homers and 14 RBIs in his last 17 games. Since June 2nd, he's second in MLB in slugging, minimum of 50 plate appearances, and leads in homers. So let's see if that. I haven't checked if that streak ended after Friday, but let's see. Madden probably didn't get mentioned more, but then again, it's 25-5. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't ended. And the final note from June 20th, Nick Kurtz, 2-run homer in the first, marks 3 straight games with a homer, tied for the longest by an A's player 22 years old or younger, with 1986 Jose Canseco twice, 1968 Reggie Jackson, and 1929 to 30 Jimmy Fox. Let's see. Well, they only. Oh no, I misread that. I was about to say they only scored 1 run, but that is the Astros. They won 9-1 in this game. So let's see. It did not get extended, so it ended at Friday. Duly noted. Oh, Cubs got back in it. Well, that's it for June 20th. For June 21st, Brewers beat the Twins 9-0. Brewers 26 runs in the last two games is third most in the last 8 seasons behind 1952 Washington Senators 20 and 2010 Astros 27. Cubs beat the Mariners 10-7. Ian Happ and Kyle Tucker stolen runs. Back-to-back solo runs in the first makes it the 5th time since 1900 the Cubs have hit back-to-back homers to start the game, joining June 14th, 2007, May 13th, 2009, April 27th, 2000, and September 27th, 1995. Happ's 2-home game in the first 2 innings makes him the first Cubs player to do so since Nick Castellanos on August 30th, 2019. Cal Raleigh's home run in the third and the ninth is his 30th this season, making him the first player with 30-plus homers in his team's first 75 games since 2001 Barry Bonds and Luis Gonzalez in the same season. He's also the first switch hitting batter to hit 30 home runs before the All-Star break. He's also the 12th time and 9th player to do so, joining 2001 Barry Bonds and Luis Gonzalez the same year. 98 to 99 Sammy Sosa, 1998 Mark McGwire, 1994 Ken Griffey Jr., 1961 Roger Maris, and 1921, 1928, and 1930 Babe Ruth. Also now has the 4th most seasons with 30-plus homers for a catcher, minimum of 50% games played at catcher, behind Mike Piazza's 9 and Roy Campbell's 4. Roy Campbell and Johnny Bench's 4. Giants beat the Red Sox 3-2. Rafael Devers threw a homer in the third, makes him the first player to hit a first homer for a new team against the old team he played for that year and played 1,000 plus career games since August 30th, 1993. Ricky Henderson with Toronto Blue Jays against the Oakland A's at the time, now just known as the Athletics. Mets beat the Phillies 11-4. Juan Soto's homer game is his 26th before turning 27 years old, tied for most with Jimmy Fox. Mets 7 solo runs, ties the MLB record, joining August 4th, 2022 Angels and June 24th, 2018 Dodgers, June 25th, 2016 Orioles, and White Sox on that same day. In May 28th, 2006 Atlanta Braves, and July 4th, 1977 Red Sox. With Francisco Lindor solo home run in the third, Mets have now won 28 straight games, regular season games, when he homered second longest streak since 1900 behind 1951 and 53 Carl Furlow's 29. And then the next day on Sunday Night Baseball, he did homer, but the Mets lost the game. That's it for June 21st. For June 22nd, Dodgers beat the Nationals 13-7 with 2-run homer in the 8th. Joey Ohtani now has 26 homers before the All-Star break with 1 start on the mound, which is third most since 1933, behind himself in 2021 and 2023, 33 and 32 respectively, and ahead of 2018 and 2022 himself 19-7 respectively, and 2001 Mike Hampton with 6. With a triple as well in the 7th, it's the second time he has a triple and a homer at least in a game he pitched and went in with May 13th, 2023, and only such player in the last 125 seasons to do so. Also in team's first, his 26 homers out of the leadoff spot this season is tied for most in teams for 79 games of the season, tied with 1996 Brady Anderson and ahead of 2024 Gunnar Henderson and George Springer's 24. And that's it for May 22nd. For May 23rd, the Braves beat the Mets 3-2. Juan Soto's 2-run homer in the 6th is his 63rd career opposite field home run, which is second most since the start of 2018 behind Aaron Judge 90. Behind Aaron Judge's 90, only next most by a left-handed batter in that span is Bryce Harper's 50. Sorry about that. Angels beat the Red Sox 9-5. Christian Moore, who went over 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Noah Shanwell 0-5 with 2 strikeouts. Zach Neto 3-for-4 solo home run and another RBI and a run. Sam Backman 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Reed Detmers 0.2 innings, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Mike Trout 0-2, 0-for-2, 3 walks, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts. Taylor Ward 0-for-1 with 4 walks, an RBI and a run. And Joe Adell with 1-for-5 with a single, an RBI, a run, and a strikeout. All appearing in the game that makes them the first time 8 of a team's own first-round picks appear in a game since July 3rd, 1991 for the Brewers. Paul Molitor at first base, 0-for-4. Dan Plesac as a reliever, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Romney Allen, center fielder, 2-for-4, 1 triple, and a strikeout. He's more known for catcher, though. BJ Surhoff at catcher, shortstop, not catcher. BJ Soroff as the catcher, 2 for 4, a double, a run, RBI, and a run. Dale Sveum, shortstop, off the bench, 0 bat/plate appearances. Bill Spires, starting shortstop, 0 for 1 with an RBI sac fly. Gary Sheffield, third base, 1 for 4 with a double, a run, and an RBI. And Greg Vaughn, 1 for 4 at left field, 1 for 4 with a run and 3 strikeouts. And then the Nationals beat the Padres 10-6. James Woods' 3-run homer in the 8th makes him marks his 31st homer in the first 158 career games with the Nationals/Expos, which is the most in franchise history, ahead of Juan Soto's 30 and Bryce Harper's 29. Josh Bell, solo home run in the 9th, was 4.65 feet above the ground, which is the highest pitch for a homer since 2008. That's it for the next part of this week's episode for this week's MLB Weekly Recap. For a standings update, not including games that have either gone final tonight or are currently happening. In the AL East, the Yankees in first place with 45-33, followed by the 43-35 Blue Rays, followed by the 41-36 Blue Jays, followed by the 40-40 Orioles, followed by the 34-44 Red Sox. In the AL Central, the Tigers in first place, 49-30, followed by the 39-37 Guardians, followed by the 38-40 Twins, followed by the 30-40 Royals, followed by the 37-41 Twins, followed by the 25-54 White Sox. In the AL West, the Astros in first place at 45-33, followed by the 40-37 Mariners, followed by the 38-40 Angels, followed by the 38-41 Rangers, followed by the 32-48 A's. In the AL East, the Phillies in first place at 47-31, followed by the 46-33 Mets, followed by the 36-41 Braves, followed by the 33-46 Nationals, followed by the 31-45 Marlins. In the AL Central, the Cubs in first place at 46-32, followed by the 43-36 Brewers and Cardinals, followed by the 41-38 Reds, followed by the 32-48 Pirates. And in the AL West, Dodgers in first place at 48-33, followed by the 44-34 Giants, followed by the 42-36 Padres, followed by the 40-38 Diamondbacks, followed by the 18-60 Rockies. So that's the standings update. And as for today's games that have gone final or have already started, about to start. Oh, wow. I won't say it out loud, but if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see the what I'm highlighting. But as for the games that haven't started, no games have gone final, actually. Angels Red Sox about to start. Garrett Crochet against Tyler Anderson. And, well, that just ended anyways. Nationals Padres about to start. Trevor Williams against Ryan Burgett. Marlins and Giants about to start. Paul Quantrill against Justin Verlander. As for the games currently going on, Orioles and Rangers tied at 5, top 10. Blue Jays over the Guardians, top 10-5, top 9. Yankees and Reds tied at 3, top 9. Rays leading the Royals 5-0, top 8. Braves leading the Mets 5-3 through 7. Mariners and Twins tied at 5 on 7. Diamondbacks over the White Sox 4-1, top 7. The Pirates leading the Brewers losing the Brewers 7-3, top 7. The Cardinals leading the Cubs 8-7, bottom 6. Phillies and Astros tied at 0, bottom 6 was on a no-hitter watch until just the last update before. A's are losing the Tigers 7-4, bottom 6, and the Rockies are up over the Dodgers 2-0, top 4. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, and notification bell notified when I go live and post a video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit notification bells when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next week's episode 176. Bye-bye.